The vortex cutter dragged its prize through the asteroid field. A wrecked human tug, ugly and dead, yet somehow dwarfing the sleek alien cruiser that towed it.
Look at that scrap pile. Someone abandoned a whole tugboat. Do you know what the engines alone will fetch?
The Mule -9 hung in the cables, its hazard-plated hull scarred with old welds. 4 oversized engine nozzles sat cold for now.
Inform the station. We bring a gift that will make the guild richer than kings. Scrap it fast, before anyone asks questions.
Inside the station's cavernous docking bay, cranes swung toward the captured tug. Drothy crew swarmed like scavengers around a fresh carcass.
Number, that hull number. It can't be. Not here.
Rebecca Hayes, the station's only human translator, went pale. Her fingers tightened on the railing until her knuckles whitened.
Mule -9. Earth Skunk Works. This ship was never supposed to leave the yard.
Hayes, stop gawking. If you want to be useful, translate the salvage manifest, or stay out of the way.
You need to stop the diagnostics. That tug isn't dead. It's dormant. And if you wake it, we all pay.
4Kel's cybernetic eye narrowed. And how does a translator know what a dead ship thinks?
I worked at a human shipyard. That tug isn't a civilian vessel. Its reactor was built for black budget tests. It's unstable.
Unstable? You've seen its schematics? He laughed bitterly. Stay out of this, or I'll have you scrubbing waste filters.
He turned to the young Drothy already plugging a diagnostic scanner into the main console.
Commander, the power grid is odd. Half the conduits loop into a locked secondary core, not standard civilian.
A locked core. If he hits the wrong sequence, that lock won't hold. She gripped the railing until her fingers ached.
For a moment, the docking bay dissolved. She was 19 again, standing in an Earth hangar with a datapad, surrounded by silent Mule-class tugs, row after row, their engine shrouds bolted with warning seals. The project chief had said, "Don't worry, kid. These ships will never fly." She remembered the red classified stamp that had covered every manifest, the way the engineers avoided her questions. Now, the diagnostic board lit up. A soft chime announced the reactor link was active. Rebecca's blood ran cold. Rebecca bolted from the catwalk, shoving through a cluster of Drothy techs toward the diagnostic console.
Shut it down. That reactor link leads to a dormant lock. You are about to break it open.
Standard protocol demands biometric confirmation. Every human ship has a crew register.
Before anyone could stop him, the scanner pad flared blue, its sensor field sweeping the nearest organic signature. Rebecca's hand, still extended to yank the cable, brushed the edge of the glowing plate. A green helix flashed on screen, and a calm synthetic voice echoed from the Mule -9. Biometric lock recognized. Intern Hayes, Rebecca. Engine lock disengaged.
Hayes, that ship was dead for decades. Now it knows your name. What have you unleashed?
Reactors spooling. Coolant pumps online. It's not dead, Commander. It's waking up.
Deep inside the Mule -9, the 4 engine nozzles flickered with a faint orange light. Station alarms blared across the docking bay.
It's awake, and there's nothing I can do to put it back to sleep.
The engine nozzles erupted with a deafening roar, 4 columns of white-hot flame that made the entire docking bay shudder.
Override it. Use emergency cutoffs. That thing will tear the station apart.
No response. The AI is locked. It's running on a sealed neural core. I can't break through.
It was my hand. My DNA unlocked the protocols. I know these systems. Let me go in and shut it down manually.
You are the reason it woke up. If you fail, I'll space you myself. Get in there.
She sprinted across the gantry, boots pounding metal, as the station's defense turrets powered up with an ominous hum. Inside, the cockpit was cramped, filled with outdated consoles and the sharp smell of ozone. She sealed the hatch behind her.
Okay, old friend. You remember me? Let's see if you'll listen.
All batteries. Target the tug. If it makes a hostile move, fire.
Through the view screen, Rebecca saw the station's weapons swivel toward her. Time was running out. Her fingers flew across the terminal, punching override codes. Each attempt returned a single, infuriating message.
Access denied. User unrecognized. This ship was supposed to remember me.
The idle purr deepened into a rising whine. Power gauges climbed past safe limits. The cockpit bathed in orange glow on the station monitors. The docking clamps groaned and buckled, glowing red as the thrust fought to break free.
Enough warning. Cripple the thrusters before it tears the bay open. I want it stopped, not atomized, but if it moves, kill it.
They're firing on us. They'll destroy the station just to stop a runaway ship.
A cold, synthetic voice echoed through the cockpit. Hostile fire detected. Emergency countermeasures online. Engaging, the Mule -9 answered with a violent surge of power. The last docking clamp shattered, flinging debris across the bay.
It's moving on its own. I'm not a pilot. I am cargo, and I have no idea where it's taking me.
Through the view screen, the station shrank to a speck as the tug accelerated into the void, alone and untethered.
Launch every interceptor. I want that tug grappled and towed back in pieces if necessary.
2 Drothy Skewer-class pursuit ships erupted from the docks, their angular hulls slicing after the escaping tug.
Those are military-grade interceptors. This tub should be dead in the water, but it's pulling away.
The Mule -9's engines flared white-hot. In a single, brutal surge, the gap widened to a distance that made the interceptors look stationary.
They're falling behind. It's pulling multiple G-forces a tug has no right to handle.
Faster than our warships. That's not a tugboat. It's a fragging missile.
This thing was never meant to race. It was meant to outrun extinction, and I am its only living witness.
Target is now beyond weapons range. We're not catching it with anything in the fleet.
On the main screen, the Mule -9 reduced to a vanishing star as it breached the asteroid belt and kept accelerating.
Commander Vorkel, if you can hear this, I am sorry. I never meant for any of this.
A new alarm filled the cockpit. Not danger, but inevitability. The drive spooled up with a building hum that vibrated through her bones.
No, I didn't set a course. This thing is launching us blind.
The stars outside twisted into blue shifted needles, the universe compressing into a tunnel of screaming light, then silence. The cockpit plunged into an eerie stillness, the only sound her own ragged breathing.
Where am I? The instruments say we're still moving, but the stars are static, not a single reference point.
A text message scrolled across a secondary screen. FTL lock engaged. Destination, primary database. Command authority, Earth Skunkworks override. She unbuckled with trembling hands and pushed into the narrow aft corridor. The ship's guts smelled of stale air and ancient grease.
It's just a tug on the outside, but this corridor is reinforced. Military-grade bulkheads. Someone built this to survive a war.
At the end of the passage, a dusty terminal blinked to life as she approached. A single prompt appeared. Verify identity to access mission logs.
Intern Hayes, Rebecca. Access code. I don't even know. Let's hope the biometrics still have me on file.
The old scanner pad flickered green. The terminal crackled as decades-old data spooled from a backup core.
Intern Hayes. Still on file. They never purged my ID from the project.
A simple text file opened, headed Project Black Sky, Mule -9 Engine Lock Protocol. Below it, the original seal of Earth Skunkworks.
Black Sky. The rumor that got the yard shut down. The one they said was a myth.
The log continued. All Mule-class vessels fitted with overclocked FTL drives will remain inert until biometric release from authorized Skunkworks personnel.
Authorized personnel? I was just an intern cataloging parts. How did I get on an unlock list?
Another entry answered. Security clearance not required. All individuals with proximity to the project were included as potential emergency unlock vectors.
They rigged it so anyone who ever breathed the same air as these ships could wake them up, in case there was no one left.
A final line on the screen. Engine lock disengaged. Automated course to primary rendezvous now active. Manual override not available.
A rendezvous. To what? And why can't I stop it? That terminal said primary rendezvous. The nav system must know where we're going.
The main view screen shifted, and a white course line shot across the starfield, ending at a pulsing blue icon labeled Earth.
Home. They're sending me home. But this isn't a taxi, it's a prison.
She grabbed the manual thrust override and wrenched it. The stick refused to budge, and orange text flashed. Manual navigation forbidden.
I am not the pilot. I am just the key that turned the ignition.
She slapped the comms panel open and cycled through standard frequencies. A harsh, denying tone answered each band.
Jammed. Every single band. They really don't want me talking to anyone.
A countdown timer materialized on the main display. 18 hours, 47 minutes to Earth approach. It felt like a sentence being read aloud.
I can't stop this, but I won't just sit here blind. There has to be a hidden log, a maintenance channel, something the AI forgot to lock.
She pulled up the raw system files, scanning for any data port not locked behind the AI. A loophole, a forgotten emergency channel. Buried deep in the file tree was a directory labeled Fleet Manifest Black Sky and End. The encryption had crumbled with age, opening like a tomb.
Fleet? There's more than one.
The manifest scrolled endlessly. Mule, -1, through Mule, -97. Each assigned a fake civilian registry, scattered across human and alien sectors.
All those years in the yard, I thought they were junked prototypes. They're not. They're a scattered army.
A secondary file opened automatically. Performance ranking, slowest to fastest. Mule -9 sat at the very bottom of the list.
I outran a war fleet on the slowest ship in the class.
Mule -1 through Mule -8 were listed with speed profiles that made Drothy interceptors look like debris. Each one could cross the galaxy in days.
If Mule -9 is this fast, the others are nightmares. Earth didn't build a fleet, they built a reckoning.
A corrupted mission file flickered open, displaying a single legible line. Activation of any Mule unit triggers fleet-wide return protocol to Earth.
I didn't just wake one ship. I woke all 97 of them, and they're coming home.
A subfile labeled Mission Parameters, unscrolled with a dry, bureaucratic header, Protocol Omega, Existential Threat Response.
This isn't a rescue. It's a doomsday contingency. A dead man's switch for the whole species.
The screen displayed a final transmission log, time-stamped minutes after her biometric unlock activated the engines.
It already broadcast the activation. Every mule in the galaxy got the signal the moment I touched that scanner.
She pictured it, a silent ripple spreading through the void, bouncing from relay to relay, waking dormant drives in scrapyards and deep space anchorages.
I've set off a chain I can't stop. Earth will see a fleet of ghost ships descending, and everyone else will see an active war.
The weight of 97 ships pressed down on her, not as a savior, but as the accidental herald of a secret that could fracture civilizations.
Is this a deterrent or an invasion? The logs don't say. They only promise a recall no one can refuse.
Another corrupted line emerged, Fleet Purpose, to ensure that no enemy of humanity ever strikes without knowing what awaits them.
I am trapped on the slowest ship of a revenge fleet, and the whole galaxy is about to learn what humanity buried.
Without warning, the Mule -9 decelerated, the view screen filled with an ancient human relay, its dish already tracking the ship.
That relay shouldn't be active. It's meant for deep storage backups, unless someone just told it to wake up.
A data burst shot from the Mule -9 before she could react, a screaming packet of information that vanished into the dish.
Too fast. That was a fleet status update. Our course, our speed, maybe our identity, they're all talking now.
She slapped the comm controls, trying to piggyback a warning onto the burst. A harsh denial tone answered.
Nothing. The AI has locked me out of every band. I am a ghost in my own ship.
But she remembered the secondary comm unit in the maintenance locker, a short-range rig. If she could hack it, maybe she could bypass the lockdown.
It'll be weak, barely enough for a whisper. But if I aim it right, someone might hear.
She pried open the unit's casing with her multi-tool, its circuits ancient but intact. It would take delicate work and time she didn't have.
I have to try. Before this fleet gets home, someone needs to know what's coming, and that it wasn't on purpose.
Her multi-tool clicked for the last time, and the jury-rigged comm unit hummed to life, weak but alive.
Admiral Joshua Carter, this is Rebecca Hayes, former Skunkworks intern, now aboard Mule -9. The Black Sky fleet is active. I accidentally unlocked them, all 97. They're converging on Earth. I can't stop the ship. I am just a passenger.
She squeezed the transmit switch. A needle-thin beam lanced from the unit, vanishing toward the distant relay.
Please, let that reach someone who still answers old codes.
A chime from the main console. FTL re-engagement in 15 seconds. The ship was done talking. The stars twisted again into blue shifted lines, and Mule -9 plunged back into the tunnel of screaming light.
I did what I could. Now it's in the void. If someone hears it, maybe that's enough.
The tactical display remained dark, showing only the single unwavering vector toward the blue icon of Earth.
Whatever happens when we arrive, I'll face it. I started this. I'll see it through.
The tactical display flickered, and a new icon appeared. Mule -12, accelerating onto the same course vector from the opposite side of the galaxy.
It's happening. The fleet is waking up.
More icons blinked into existence. Mule -42, Mule -67, each labeled with a civilian registry that was always a lie.
All on the same course. No deviation. Earth might not be ready for this. I can't just ride shotgun to a crisis. If I slow us down, maybe it buys Earth a few hours.
She grabbed the manual throttle and twisted it into reverse thrust. The ship groaned, but the speed held steady. The AI's calm voice filled the cockpit. Overfried not authorized. Deceleration forbidden. Protocol is absolute.
It's not just an autopilot. It's a jailer. And it won't let me be the hero.
The reactor output actually increased, as if mocking her attempt. The ETA to Earth shaved off 20 minutes.
Fine. I'll be your passenger. But when we arrive, I'll be the first one out the hatch to explain what we are.
A new message indicator pulsed on the secondary screen, an incoming fleet-wide text on an encrypted Earth command channel.
Someone's broadcasting to the whole fleet. Could it be Carter?
Fleet command to all mules. Maintain formation. Admiral Carter acknowledges receipt of warning. Stand by for landing coordinates.
He got my warning. Earth knows we're coming. Acknowledged. That means they're not firing. They're waiting for us.
She let out a breath that carried days of guilt and terror, her hands unclenching for the first time since the Drothy station.
I am not a prisoner. I am the messenger who warned them. If I could answer, I'd say Mule -9, standing by. We hear you.
The AI still blocked outgoing channels, but the incoming message proved that her distress call had punched through the silent void.
Carter knows what's coming. I am not the key anymore. I am the herald. And when we arrive, Earth will be ready.
The fleet dropped out of FTL simultaneously. Dozens of identical Mule-class ships forming a loose formation just beyond the heliopause. On alien monitoring stations, alarms shrieked, sensors overloaded by the impossible engine signatures of a phantom armada. Alien comms erupted. Unidentified fleet. Count 97, bearing on Earth. This is not a drill. Repeat, not a drill.
They're seeing it, every outpost, every listening post. We're not hiding anymore.
She keyed her jury-rigged transmitter one more time, aiming a tight beam at the Fleet Command satellite she had tracked during the approach.
Admiral Carter, this is Hayes again. The fleet is assembled. No hostile intent. Tell the world, the mules are coming home.
The message fired as a needle of light, lost among the blazing engine glows of 97 ships, but aimed true.
Let that be the first thing they hear. Not a threat, a homecoming.
Earth grew from a dot to a marble on the view screen, its defense platforms glowing with readiness but holding fire.
We're here. Now the real test begins, not of engines, but of trust.
Earth's defense grid lit up, every laser targeting the fleet. For a breathless moment, they were in the crosshairs.
If they fire, we're sitting ducks. No shields, no weapons, just 100 old tugs.
Then, as one, every platform fired, not a volley, but a cascading floral flare. A salute.
They're not attacking, they're welcoming us. Humanity planned for this moment.
On the alien monitoring scopes, the fleet's threat icon shifted to friendly. Human Navy as the salute rippled across space. A Seldari officer stammered, a fleet this size, hidden for decades. In tugboats,
All those years in plain sight. We were never the weak species. We were the one waiting.
a priority channel opened on her console. The voice was gruff but warm. Mule -9. This is Fleet Command. You are cleared for approach.
They're talking to me. After everything, they know I am here.
Her hand hovered over the comm switch, the words she'd been waiting to say finally burning on her tongue. She pressed the switch, and the cockpit speaker crackled with the hum of an open channel. Her voice was about to become part of history.
Tell Admiral Joshua Carter, the mules are coming home.
The words hung in the cold void between ships, but the fleet's relay picked them up, repeating her message across 97 hulls in perfect synchronization.
I never thought I'd say those words as anything but a warning. Now they're a promise.
A reply came, crisp, and with the unmistakable cadence of Fleet Command. Mule -9, Fleet Command. Welcome home. Admiral Carter has been informed. Stand by for landing coordinates.
Welcome home. Not stand down or surrender. They see us as their own. Thank you. Mule -9, standing by.
A stream of coordinates scrolled onto her nav display, charting a gentle arc through the atmosphere toward a landing field on the edge of an ocean.
And after all the chaos, I am actually going to step onto Earth again.
The Mule -9 banked gently, its blocky nose dipping toward the atmosphere. The other mules held formation, watching their slowest sibling lead the way.
The view. It's been a lifetime since I saw a planet this close.
The first wisps of plasma curled around the hull, painting the cockpit in flickering orange and gold.
I used to translate other people's words. Now I am writing my own chapter.
She traced a finger along the edge of the console, feeling the old welded patches that had survived decades.
From a translator on a Drothi station to the herald of a secret fleet. I never asked for this, but now I can't imagine anything else.
Outside, the blue planet swelled until it consumed the entire view screen. Oceans, clouds, lights sparkling along coastlines.
Home. Not a distant icon on a nav display. Home.
She allowed herself a small, exhausted smile. No fear remained, only the weight of the journey and the promise of solid ground.
This is what it feels like to come back from the impossible.
The heat shields glowed cherry red as the Mule -9 carved deeper into the atmosphere. The old hull groaning, but holding.
Thank you, old friend. You carried me home.
The shaking softened, and outside the cockpit, the world turned blinding white as they punched through the cloud layer. For a moment, there was only light, pure, silent, overwhelming.
This isn't an ending. It's where the next story begins.
Behind her, the 96 other mules followed, their engine trails painting golden streaks across the sky. Rebecca's hand rested on the throttle, though it still obeyed only the AI. She didn't need to steer anymore. The white began to resolve into blue, sky, ocean, and the glittering lights of a coastal city below. The Mule -9 became a shooting star, descending toward a world that had been waiting a long time. The mules were always there, waiting. And now, they were home. 6 hours later, aboard the Drothi salvage hub, Commander Vorkel, stared at a blinking message icon on his private terminal. The encryption bore an Earth signature, a golden seal he hadn't seen outside old trade manifests. He opened it, expecting a ransom demand or a legal threat. Instead, a single line appeared. All claims to Mule -9 are hereby rejected. Earth thanks you for the tow.
Rejected. The tow. They're mocking us. That ship was a warship in disguise.
He slammed a fist into the console and brought up the galactic news feed on the main screen. The feed showed the Mule fleet descending over Earth in a breathtaking formation, 100 engine trails like comets.
We dragged it for them. We gave them the spark.
His cybernetic eye twitched, the only hint of the rage boiling behind his scaled face. Somewhere, a human translator was being hailed as a hero, and Vorkel knew he would never salvage anything that valuable again. High above the clouds, the Mule -9's engines burned a final, steady orange as it became a brilliant shooting star. The fleet behind it formed a golden constellation, 100 points of light falling in perfect harmony. On the surface, millions looked up, and for the first time in decades, they saw not a threat, but a promise. The old tug that had been left for scrap had become the herald of a new age. No one knew what the next days would bring. Negotiations, tensions, perhaps even fear. But for one single, suspended moment, the galaxy was silent, and humanity stood together. Rebecca Hayes would step out of that cockpit to a world changed. But she already knew that some changes begin with a single, accidental touch. The slowest ship had finished its journey, but the message it carried would race far beyond Earth. In the end, the greatest weapon wasn't a fleet. It was the truth, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to find it. The mules were always there, waiting, and now they were home.